there's a like the left side is like the maternal line. So the left side of your body reaches right the way through your timeline, all the way down your mother's timeline, and the right side is your father. So that's your paternal. So right now, and over the last couple of months, the kind of theme behind the healings is to clear the timelines. The dragon energy is very deep cleansing, so it's going down the timelines to lift all those generational patterns that have been passed to us and to get them burnt off and gone.
Today I'm joined by the incredible Collette from White Dragon Healing, base holder, healer and guide who works with cacao, breathwork and the fierce yet loving force of dragon energy. In this episode we dive deep into the witch wound, how it still affects women today and the powerful ways we can heal across timelines and generations. Together we explore what it really means for women to rise at this moment in time. Get ready for a conversation that's raw, magical and deeply empowering. So I have you back again. I have the lovely Collette with me again today. How are you feeling, Collette?
All good, all good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. So you have been massively busy. You have been everywhere doing all sorts of stuff, pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. What have you been doing, lady?
Well, yeah, all of the above.
Yeah,
you above. It's been a good it's been a good sort of response to my events up at Silvertree Wellness, which is cacao, breathwork, and guided meditation. So I've got my next one's on Thursday, and then I've got one on the 5th, and then the TP closes after that. So, but I think they're doing stuff inside, and then I'm down to your I'm coming down to your event, aren't you? On really Saturday.
Oh yeah,
I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah, and yeah, I've been out. Yeah, I've been out to events. I did my very first talk at Harrogate, which went really well. That was very well.
it's not went well, didn't it?
Yeah, it was great. I was just panicked, like fuck, the night before, and I had all this stuff wrote down, and I was thinking, which is not everything I do is guided. Sort of like you get the bones of it, and then the rest is all guided. And I thought, well, I've got this, which is great. It's great, kind of looking at it and reading it, but I'm thinking, I can't just read to people. That's not how you connect, and it's not certainly how I do it. So. And I was kind of like thinking, oh, it'll just be me and the caretaker emptying the bin. It'll be fine. Do you nobody there? Like, not there. And I was just like, Jesus Christ, there was 75. There was 70 house. There was 75 seats in the room, and 75 seats were taken. So
75, were there?
Yeah, there was a lot, and I'd kind of walked in, and in my mind, I kind of knew I wasn't going to read from this piece of paper, and I knew I was going to have to go from. Like a place of, like you said to me, don't worry, your passion will take over.
Yeah.
So yes, these people were all sat there, and I walked in, and they were all looking at me, and I was like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? I'm just a baby.
It's that when the sat that you're waiting, though. It's that like what you're gonna tell us that I don't know now. I don't. It's all disappeared.
Like, are you all here for the dragon energy? And it is so it was great. I had some beautiful feedback, and on two different occasions, people came up and said to me that they could see my aura, and it was like this pure white. How beautiful it was, and which I thought was beautiful. And that people were just coming up and sharing how much they enjoyed it, and so I did a talk about dragon energy, and then I went on to do a guided meditation. So, it was. It was definitely out of my comfort zone, but it is definitely what I've been, and I suppose going back to when I first connected with the dragons and the dragon energy, them saying to me, we need you we need you out there talking about it. And this is one of the main reasons why I still I'm going around all the different events, so I can get as far afield as possible, connect with people on a one-to-one and like in a big room of people, but being able to, for the first time ever, speak about the dragon energy and its potential for individuals, because everyone's different and everyone receives it differently. And even if you come, there's a chap that comes and he goes to all these kind of events, and he comes and has a healing with me every week that I'm at one. So his experience weekly is different, and it's everything. Do you know what I mean? It's not just like the same. Everything's different, and it's great to have that kind of reliable source of knowing from an individual how that sees, and you can see the changes, and you can see how they're progressing and how their life's changing, and even like the way that they look and carry themselves and walk around now is all different. There's a light about them, yeah, and it's really really good to see. It is it's just fantastic to see, and I think being able to give that kind of voice to the dragon energy, because again it's still unknown, not so many people know about it on the kind of
No.
on the on the Joe blogs on the street kind of thing, which is what I was until, well, until it all changed. But and that's what actually happens, isn't it? We just have this, something happens, there's a catalyst in life, and then all of a sudden there's a flood of information coming through, and it's crazy, crazy, crazy time.
So what is the theme of the Dragon Energy now? Where's it at? What they wanted us to know, what they wanted us to work on?
So what's again during the healings, the kind of, there's not so much there's a, like, the left side is like the maternal line. So the left side of your body reaches right the way through your timeline, all the way down your mother's timeline, and the right side is your father, so that's your paternal. So right now, and over the last couple of months, the kind of theme behind the healings is to clear the timelines. The dragon energy is very deep cleansing, so it's going down the timelines to lift all those generational patterns that have been passed to us and to get them burnt off and gone. Very deep cleanse in the root system. And the solar plexus is expanding now, so we're doing a lot of opening of the solar plexus, allowing it to expand fully, because the divine feminine energy is needed right now to come in. And that is a huge call for people to start connecting correctly and fully with the divine energy of the feminine, because again, I think we touched on it last time, the toxic masculine energy right now, it even seems like it's gone on the increase because of the panic within that world now. Those people housing that toxic masculine energy, male and female. This isn't just directed at men, but this is anyone who has that toxicity inside them. There's almost like a panic is setting. There's like this little sound wave of panic going through them, and although the energy looks like it's getting worse, and there's horrible things that are happening at the moment, it's all because the panicking now, because the rise of the divine feminine is on the increase. And again, this is to do with men and women. It's not just based on a sexuality or how you present yourself. You know what I mean? It's definitely within us all. We all have that. We all have to have that balance, and that's what the energy does with the dragons. Like I say, it's very powerful, very cathartic, cleanses all that stuff out, and allows that room then for the divine feminine energy to come through, so that they can gain that masculine balance with the masculine, and it's not off in any way, shape, or form. So people are finding themselves stepping into a new way and stuff like that. So, and it's great.
I must admit, I know in like my healings and within people I've been working with, a lot are saying things like, I've been drawn to do a lot of feminine work. I've been drawn to I had some ladies that were drawn to do like wound healings. And one lady, when we were talking, she said, I'm not a girly girl. She says, but, I've been drawn to doing like, I don't know what it is, to like heal the wound somehow and one thing another. And I've seen a lot of that. And I feel like, especially now when we're in like the autumn equinox and we're coming up to Halloween and all sorts of things, all the witches are depicted for Halloween and what have you. But actually, a lot of witches were just healers. They were midwives. They were herbalists, that sort of thing. And I feel like actually at the minute that there's part of the energy that is calling us to heal that witch wound, bringing light to it, and that's part of. And it's just the demonization of females, because to hide that, to suppress that, that feminine energy, isn't it? That strong female energy.
Yeah, I mean, throughout the ages, the decades, the millennium, it's you know, writing women, powerful, strong women out of history
Yeah.
is prominent. Um, Absolutely, 1,000%. Calling a woman a witch back in the day was a very dangerous thing to do, and people did it threw that word around quite happily, because they were scorned. They were, the advances were rejected. They wanted something from the female, and or to save their own skins, they threw them under the bus. As we know, we've got the witch, the mother, and the sister wound. So this is all very much deep cleansing wound work in the root. So it's that past generational stuff coming through. And I've had this. So I was in the Masonic Hall in Stockport, and then I did Harrogate, and there were two very prominent themes were coming through, and that was with the Knucker Dragons, and they were attaching themselves. I absolutely loved the Knucker Dragons, so I actually spoke about the Knucker Dragons at the talk. So
Did you?
yeah, and I was saying to these people, because they came, it was almost like I was given, you do like I do the cleanse, I do get stuff moved, but sometimes they'll give me visions about what's coming, where they were originally, and all that kind of stuff. So you can kind of see that they were like a witch in a past life, or a herbalist, that the medic of the village type person. They were
Yeah.
the healer of the village, and they were obviously lost their lives during the witch trials. I go back even further to the point where they were a mermaid in Atlantis.
Yeah.
Okay, and just to see the images that come through and how they connected to the Knucker Dragons even back then. So the Knucker Dragon has been with them throughout the beginning, all the way through. And knowing that when the witches were drowned, that the Knucker Dragons were there to take their souls so that they could come back into a time where they wouldn't be persecuted for the gifts,
Yeah.
where they would be revered and honoured, and given a platform where they could showcase and help and heal again, and without that fear attached to it. And then the Knucker Dragons were very prominent in the last the last 2 weekends, and I was quite surprised because when I was at the Masonic Hall, I was thinking, I bet there was a lot of work done here that
Yeah.
was, to damage the witches and all that kind of stuff, and it felt really, really powerful there, very, very powerful there, and it was beautiful to see and to be given those kind of images from us having that conversation about the Knucker Dragon, and then how it, how that's come about, and the information about what and who they were attached to and why and stuff like that. It's just incredible, and to see. And the other thing that's coming through is sound. You to find your frequency that you need to have to communicate with your dragon. So even now, like when I do a healing, sometimes I will obviously I can, when I'm speaking dragon or light language, whichever term people want to use, or kind of can sit with, there'll be a point where I'm singing, and there'll be a certain tone that's reached, and I know I have to keep that tone.
Oh, really?
And so it's about that frequency that's coming in now. And I've been saying to a couple of people when I've been given the information to do so is sing, find your frequency to communicate with your dragon. And I mean, a couple of the healings have been very, very powerful, very connective, and the images that I saw and what they saw was was really, really beautiful, and it just kind of, you just sit there and going, it's not mass hysteria. It's this person's come and they have this thing, and now they have this other thing, and it's just it's incredible to see the connection. Complete strangers walking up to you who go, well, I've been seeing this dragon when I meditate, and I didn't know why.
Yeah.
It's like, well, now you do. Here is a bed. You lie down, and we'll see where it takes us. And it's an incredible journey. It really is, and you can't quantify it. You can't really put it into words. So even when I had, when I talk to people and say, oh, blah blah blah, I have a dragon energy. It's powerful. Da, 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 da. It's very different energy to what you get with the Reiki or the angelic. It's just different energy. It's more powerful. And obviously, as you know, I bring in the Trinity, so I've got all three that come through. I'm blessed to be able to, have myself as a vessel for those three energies that come in. And you can say to people all these words, and they'll go, "Oh, okay," but it until they experience it, they're not really going to fully understand the power behind it and how it shifts and what happens down the line. It's not just, you go, "Oh wow, that was, I felt something, I saw something, this changed for me." It's weeks and months later. You continue to have this energy building and your connection to the dragons and whatever place you need to be. And I had a beautiful session where a unicorn came through and this light being was with it. And they were just kind of overseeing this ballet, and the energy that came through was just so, so pure and so beautiful and so healing. It was so incredible. And I've not experienced that side of it myself. So for that to come in is, for me was just so beautiful. And every healing is very different. It brings in something new. A new level opens, a new layer becomes apparent. So,
And that's it as well. So, like, different people need different things and they've had different experiences, haven't they? So, I suppose for you, you'll see a lot of different, you'll feel a lot of different energy and you'll see a lot of different, a different visions and what have you in the meditations because people have had such a lot of different things, haven't they?
yeah, yeah,
I know
very much.
I know when we spoke about the Knuckle Dragons, I were amazed that there were different type of dragons. I just thought it were like the ones, it were just dragons. They were just a dragon. There were different colours, but I didn't realise of different ones until I messaged you one day and were like, oh, I've had the strangest dream and this and that. And then the dragon came in and I'd had a dream and the three women were stood across from my house. Now, my front door is all glass. And I was looking at these women through the door. And then when I looked, they were knocking on my windows, trying to get in my windows. And I'm like, oh, what is it? And then this dragon went in, and I was like, blinking heck. And you said, oh, what did it look like? And sent me a picture. I'm like, oh, well, it's going to be like that one. And it was Knuckle Dragon. But like I said, I didn't know there were any different ones. I thought, oh, well, they're just all like, Igor off that bloody filthy Igor. What's his name off that film?
Yeah.
Aragorn off that film. I just thought they all looked like that. They don't all, do they?
No, no, no. They're all very different shapes and sizes.
Yeah.
And again, like with the angelics, they wouldn't technically, they're not in the normal form, aren't human looking. It's just that they present in a human way. And again, their size and presentation can be different. So they might present as a male looking angel, or they might present as a female angel. And then you've got the ones that are Jophiel, I think it's a bit kind of androgynous in that way. He doesn't really, or she doesn't really particularly present as male or female. It's, it's quite, it could be either way, but again, beautiful energy. And I think that's what happens. They come in showing you how they need to be. Now, sometimes they'll come in as an angel, quite angelic, blah, blah, blah. But other times they'll come in fierce, but they've got the sword, they're out to do a battle. It's everyone, again, people think that, angels can't be fierce and they can't be dark and stuff like that. It's not dark in an evil way. It's dark because they have to do something that potentially goes against them. You know what I mean? It's that energy behind it, and that's the thing as well with the dragons. Again, they can be huge or tiny, and the colors are all colors. Again, the colors can be very much on a personal level as well. What they need at that time and how it's transferred. So, like, I think, did we have a conversation about the red dragon or like a fire dragon, inflammation and all that kind of thing for me?
Yes.
And I think for other people, it might mean something else. But I know if someone's coming to me and they've got sort of, maybe arthritis or a bit of inflammation in the body or something like that, you can kind of go, can I have the fire dragon? And sometimes I can say, can I have the fire dragon? But the fire dragon won't come. It'll be just something different. It'll be what they need.
Needs.
Yeah. And I do say that. I just say, look, set your intention, but what you're meant to have is what you're going to get. So it doesn't, I can't say to them, well, no, she wants this, because it doesn't work that way. You just kind of like, the energy comes through me into them and they get exactly what they need to get.
Yeah.
And that's the good thing, isn't it, about the the dragons. And I think when the weather gets better, when we maybe springtime, we need to do our waterhole, our dragon waterhole tour.
Yes, because I didn't know about that either. I mean, you've
Yeah.
educated me so that awful. I mean, to be fair, I only found out about the devil's bumhole because
Devil's
that's
ass, yeah.
that's it. I was like, what?
Yeah.
What's it called? Devil's ass.
Yeah, well, they call it the devil's ass because um it's a huge cave in the peaks, and there's a crack in the cave. Literally goes like this. I think I sent you a picture of it. And
Yeah.
when the I think the cave fills up 3 or 4 times a year with water. When that water is getting expelled, it goes out one way and then it goes out through the crack of the arse, basically through this crack.
Yeah.
As it goes through the crack, it basically farts, and it just reverbs around the whole kind of area because it's this cave system's huge, and it just there's no other way to describe it. It just sounds like somebody's farting.
I've never ever heard of it. Never.
And even to the point it was referenced as the devil's arse back in 15 something or other
Never.
because of the noise.
I feel like I need to get out for me. I didn't know anything about, like you said, the water holes for the dragons and stuff. No idea about any of that.
Yeah, the portals. Yeah, portals, which the Nooker dragons would use. So yeah, if you think about the witch trials and how they were happening, and they were happening in various different areas and things like that, and it was just that thing. So we have these dotted across the country, really, more kind of Warwick way and Warwickshire way. So
I would have to go and have a road trip. Absolute road trip. Hi, I'm just taking a quick break to thank you all so much for listening to the podcast and for all your lovely support. If this episode gave you something to think about or simply felt helpful, you can support future episodes and my tea habit over at Buy Me a Coffee. The link is buymeacoffee.com/guide to spirituality. Every little bit helps me keep creating, sharing and growing this space, and I'm truly grateful. But do you feel like I feel like we're seeing more women than ever turning to healing and spirituality, and just trying to embody embodiment practices and trying to get themselves where they feel, like they want to heal, I feel like. So do you feel like this is part of, like we said earlier on, but do you feel like this is what the dragon's trying to do? We're trying to raise that, trying to get us to, women to step into themselves properly?
Yeah, I think for too long, women have had to hold back in speaking their truths. They've had to show up less of their authentic selves because they have to wear many hats, and they have to keep the peace, and they have to walk on eggshells. And it's all going on too much. And more women want to reclaim themselves and become authentic and step into that power that they naturally have, but we give away to others so that the world can spin, so the house gets clean, that the kids get fed, husbands and partners and whatever get the day in the light rather than ours. And we always tend to put ourselves on the back foot, allowing everybody else to step up. People use us as a fucking stepping stone, don't they?
Yeah, yeah.
And
I think a lot of women, even now, still feel like being judged or shamed or silenced or, well, I won't want to say that and I won't want to do that. Oh, well, I don't think I could do that. And that's all part of the witch wound, isn't it? I feel like, there's a lot of it now where if a lot of women could see that actually what power they hold, then we'd be bloody flying, you know what I mean? There'd be so much, wouldn't there? And I do feel like that is starting to change.
Yeah, and I think how did I reference it to you when we were chatting the other day? It was like Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I think it was the last episode or whatever it was, near the end of the run of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, they find the spell to wake up all potential slayers. So all these women in different areas of the world going through something different at that time were just waking up and stepping into their power and
Yeah.
actually recognizing that, they are a force to be reckoned with, that they don't have to agree to things that they don't want to do anymore, that they can say no and own it and step into that power and have that power to be able to step away from those that can't hold them, can't give them the space to grow and become who they need to be. And that's important as well. And I think throughout as we know throughout the writings and the teachings that in the books, women we were wrote out of them, but any power even within a marriage or a relationship was taken away from women. And there's still a lot of places within the world that are shocking with the women's rights and the children's rights and stuff like that. I mean, you know, I think the thing about marrying kids as young as 9 and things like that, making it legal in countries to do that is just shocking, and it needs to
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
needs to be done, and only women really can step into that energy and just say no. We have so much power taken away from us in areas that the ones that have the voice here and other
Yes.
countries like where we have that voice, we need to stand together
Yeah,
and say
definitely.
in anymore. This has to stop. The violence against women and children is just horrific right now. It's at an all-time high, and it just becomes more and more twisted. And it's again, you can just see the patterns being passed down. Like you can see in even simple things like you're at a football match, and you can see there's a father with a young son, and they're doing all this kind of stuff
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
like, stuff like that. And you can just see that the child has learned that from his dad. This is what men do at football. This
Mm.
is how men behave when they go to a football match. They're angry, they're aggressive, they're swearing, they're calling people's names, they're throwing things. And then, that is across the board. So you can see it when people go to demonstrations and stuff like that. There's an agenda behind most of these people, which is to cause violence and wreck the place and smash things up. And they're just teaching that to the kids. They're passing on these generation patterns that we need to break. And until women can turn around and say, no, that's not happening, or, you're not teaching my child that, it's not going to happen. Because again, there's always this thing, isn't always that threat in the background that, the male who can, quite easily beat you up or whatever because you don't do as you're told or anything like that. And again, I know it's predominantly it's male. Let's face it. Predominantly the violence against women and children is done by men. And I'm not saying that women aren't violent towards men and children.
No,
They
that's
are
very much about
predominantly.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, the majority of crimes that happen against women are caused by the hands of men,
Yeah.
and it's the same with children. We can't be PC about the figures. It is what it is, and until we start until we start speaking up, and until we start identifying that behavior in people and calling them out on it, and we don't have to do it in an aggressive way. I'm not saying we be
No, no.
aggressive. Well, we have to turn around and say, well, actually, what's happening right there now is not good.
Yeah.
The way you're speaking to that child or the way you're speaking to that woman is not how it should be, or the way you're speaking to that man or that child is not a healthy way to discuss things. I mean, even people just think it's normal, for to have your partner shout and scream at you. It's not. I mean, nobody needs
No.
to be talked to like that, do they? No one needs to
No,
be
absolutely not.
called names and belittled, do they?
No.
You know. And if you can't have an honest and open conversation with your partner about subjects that might be a little bit emotive. Like if you can't have a conversation about finances or bills or anything like that, or about what you want to wear, see, dress, or eat, if you can't have open and honest conversations without it causing a row, then that is not a healthy
No.
relationship.
Absolutely not.
And we have, if you think about it, people think having a screaming match with your partner is normal. That's healthy. It's not. That's not how you communicate with people.
No.
people, because then people go down that road of saying, "Oh, the makeup sex is great." I was like, "Are you fucking mad?
Yeah.
Really? Is that what you're doing? Just like having this huge row just so you can have like?" It's just like, stop it, because it's just
Yeah.
perpetuate this real bullshit, misogynistic, toxic masculine energy. Just gonna
Mm.
do what I want. I'm gonna tell you what I want. We're gonna have a huge row about it, and then we're gonna have sex, and everything's gonna be fine. No, it fucking doesn't work like that.
But no, that I haven't healed anything.
Has it fuck? No.
But I must admit, me and my husband, we don't argue as such. We do, don't get me wrong. And all couples argue, and there's nothing wrong with having a disagreement. But we do that where, like, I'll say, you know, if we have some sort of an argument, I'll be like, listen, we both know I'm right. We're all gonna take
Yeah.
time to come round. But no, we don't have that like screaming and shouting and like name calling and stuff. It's like it's about right daft stuff we argue about, but it's very little. Do you know what I mean? So like you said, if you can't have a conversation with somebody and you can't be saying, well, look, actually, today when you did that, that proper got on my nerves, that we used to don't do that, or what have you, if you can't
Yeah.
have that conversation. And I suppose some people live where it's just volatile, isn't it? It's just volatile all the time, and it's no good. Um,
That's what they know, and that's where the learned patterns and behaviors come in, and that's where we need to break them.
but
So,
like I said, the point I'm trying to make is that we don't have big blazing silly rows, but everybody does have a falling out, don't they? You can't get on with everybody all the time, and you have disagreements, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's the level of it's the nastiness of it when you well I know, but I know I said that, but it's because we fell out. But that don't make it all right though, does it?
no, the intensity of it, and I think the thing
Yeah.
is, if you lose your control during an argument, so that you are now name calling people, and you are, being really aggressive and very frightening, if you're not, if people aren't used to it, but if you're being like really at it, and you are calling them names, that's toxic. We can all be emotive, we can all get upset about things, but you know there are ways to have an argument, and this is the other thing. You see, we need to teach people what a healthy argument is,
Yeah.
and what isn't. Because if they grow up in a household where they see the toxic arguments all the time, they're just going to think that's normal. They're going to think that's a normal way to react when somebody pisses you off.
Yeah.
Is to blow up, wreck the place, call them names, get violent, punch walls, doors, whatever. You know what I mean? They're going to think that's normal, and it's not. And I think people would be very, very surprised when they looked at it, if they said to them, if they sat down with people in work and went, right, hands up, people in work, when you're having an argument with your other half, do they call you names? Do they get really shouty and aggressive? Does it get quite volatile where somebody could quite easily snap and end up being physical? And are they calling you names during the argument? And I think people be really, really surprised at the number of events that takes place, and it's just like it's not normal. It really isn't. Well, I don't think it is, and I don't think being on the wrong side of a toxic relationship for many, many years, I would never want that in my life again. Never need to expose anybody to. And I think that's the difference. And this is where we have to start empowering ourselves, women, men, children. We have to empower them. I'm quite sure there's loads of men who just sit on like that toxic behavior as well that they get. And, it's, that kind of theory behind things about this is a man's role and this is a woman's role. Yes, there can be defined roles, but there's also has to be the happy ground.
Yes, the middle part
It's not
of yeah.
it's not up to the woman to cook and clean and whatever. These are roles that both genders can do.
Mm.
This, the female doesn't have to do all the cooking. She might like it, she might enjoy it, she might want to do it. I enjoy cooking, but I think if you're in a relationship with someone and they like cooking as well, then you should just split it.
Yeah, just share it, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be a role. That's the female role, and the man just sits at the table waiting for his dinner to be served. It's like, fuck off. One days are well gone, you know.
You see, I'm very much where I've got the twin boys and obviously my husband, but I like that. Um, I like to look after. I like to nurture. That is part of my personality. And I like it when there's a nice meal for them all. We all sit down, have a nice meal together. I like that. But I also like the house to be clean. I like it to be, and I like it my way. So there is a point where I totally agree with you that it doesn't have to be the woman doing everything. I get that. However, I'm of the thing where I'm like, if they're doing, I'll say to them, everybody's got their own jobs in this house. So you over upstairs? Are you go, yeah. And then I'll go back and I'm like, yeah, but I'll just do it myself because you shite. You're doing it shit. I'll just do it myself. So I sort of feel like sometimes for women, it's like, I'll just do it my bloody self because I can't be asked with carrying on. I'll just do it myself. Do you know what I mean? Which again is sad in a way, isn't it? But I totally get it. It's sad because actually, well, you can just learn how to do it properly. Just show them how to do it properly.
Yeah, there's that, and this is where in life where we get shown where we need to learn and grow and change our ways. That we have to, instead of being that fine, like picking things and go, oh, it's very Virgo of you. That it's very Virgo of you. It's just to be like, right, okay, they did their best. That is great. I'm going to leave it be because I've just cooked this wonderful dinner for everybody, and I'm going to relax now.
Yeah,
that's about you learning and changing in a positive way.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse if you're sat there, like if you're the men folk in your house are just sat there and you're running around cleaning, doing all that, and you ran ragged and they're all just sat there because again that's no good for you,
Yeah.
And I'll find it around.
But that is my toxic trait. I'll scream that, well, not scream, but I'll be like, I'm doing everything in this bloody house. Nobody's helping. And they say, what do you want us to do? I'll say, bloody nothing. You don't bother trying to help me. That's it. And that's me. I'm like, what's wrong with you? There's something wrong with that. But that's a shadow part of me. But I'm a Capricorn. It's like that. Just get on and get everything done out.
Right, yeah, of course. Like, yeah. Because it's with as you being a cat, you're very grounded and regimented in how things get done.
Yeah.
And that over criticism. Yes, that'll be the shadow side, that cat. Yeah. And it's about releasing those shadow sides. Like for me as a Virgo, people pleasing, procrastination, self criticism, trying to release all of that toxic shadows for me. And so that's, So the poor men folk in your house are as well just sit there and
perhaps it's the other way around in my house. It's the lads that need the help.
Yeah. It's just like I'm gonna send them some dragons.
Yeah, send them help, send them care packages and out, but they get fed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they get fed. Yeah, I'll send them a detailed list of how to deal with a Capricorn.
So you touched on it earlier on. So you have some events coming up, but you've sold them out, haven't you? The no tickets.
Yes. No, they're done. Yeah, so they're both the next two events in Silver Tree Wellness are at capacity. So I'm happy with that. Yeah. And they went very quick. They went quick, to be fair.
I want to say it were up and then it had gone.
Yeah.
And how many did you hold on that?
Probably in the TP 10. I'll do 10 at the TP, and then I don't because of the size. I think most I would probably, if I was on just doing it as myself, I would do it. I would probably I could do more, but I've got 12 chairs. We'll get 12 chairs in the TP, but I have got 12 chairs because I like it to be in the gravity chairs. I think because we discussed this, didn't we? I'm happier when I'm not kneeling on the floor healing people. That's not my natural comfort zone. Too many years have been, spent. My knees are wrecked from my ex job as a gas engineer. So too many years of putting myself into really stupid positions to try and get work done. It's told. And, so now it's a case of, well, I want to be comfortable when I'm healing. So I'd get them in the beds, get them on those gravity zero gravity chairs. They're comfortable. I'm comfortable. Everybody's in a good position. So yeah, and we do it that way. But I've been looking around at some spaces to sort of, again, just to try and open that up a bit more. So I saw a nice space down in Sefton. I've got a couple of spaces up here in Manchester I'm going to look at.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to do. I want to kind of look to, again, just broaden that horizon and get it a bigger space, and and allow more people to be able to enter in then. And then for them, it can be a case of, if they've got to be on the floor, they can be on the floor. I can sort that out. I would think if there was more than 12 people, I probably would want to have a second person there, just for the hands-on healing bit that when we go around and do.
Yeah.
But I think at the moment, comfortably holding 10 space for 10's fine. It's easy. It's because it's a 4 hour event anyway. So you're going round, so they all get plenty of opportunity to have hands-on healing during the 4 hours. So
Yeah.
it's good.
I think you should come more our way a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, of course. I will. Definitely. We're doing something anyway in December, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
We'll get you in there.
Yeah, definitely 100%. I'm happy to bring it anywhere it needs to be.
Definitely. I have a lot of people at my group wanting you to come in there, so that's what we're going to do on the December.
Nice. Yeah. Looking forward to it. Yeah, and I do offerings from home as well, so you can get hands-on healing here.
So people can come to you and come and get healed. Do you go to people?
Yeah, I mean, like, I can do. It's not an issue. I've got my bed's mobile in it, so I'm happy to. I think the only thing about going to somebody's home is space, is whether or not there's enough space there.
Yeah.
I mean, the room I work out of here is on the smaller side, but I kind of can do what I need to do in it.
Yeah.
But and then obviously it's kind of like this is energized up, so I open this space up before people come.
That's it. You're on in it, yeah.
Yeah, I get it all cleansed and clean and all that kind of stuff. I mean, if I would go to somebody's home if I thought it was something that had to be done. Do you know what I mean? If somebody was less able to get here, but or to it, because obviously doing healings at an event is all right. I always say to people, don't worry about the noise. Once you're on the bed, it just becomes peripheral.
Yeah.
Got the music under your ear kind of thing. But obviously doing it at home, again, you get that added layer of the quiet. And
That's it, yeah.
This room, though, is very energized anyway. So, you're walking in straight away, you kind of go, yeah.
Yeah, you can feel it, yeah.
So, well, as soon as you come through the house, really, through the front door, you get that energy behind it. But yeah, so doing things at home and finding more places to hold these events is where I'm at. You know what I mean? Meet your dragons, get that guided meditation sorted out, meet your dragon kind of thing.
So if somebody wanted to book in with you to come have a session with you, how do they find you?
Yeah, so Facebook's probably the best one, because the WhatsApp number for my dragon phone is
Dragon phone.
I have a dragon phone. Yeah, so my WhatsApp number for my dragon phone is on the Facebook page.
Oh, right, fine.
And people can just send me a WhatsApp and just if they just put the name on it and just say what it is that they're looking for, and it can just be it can be whatever it needs to be, really.
So you just tailored it to that person. So whatever they need at that time, that's what you'll do. So you won't pre-plan it. Well, you could never pre-plan a healing, could you? Because you don't know. And sometimes I feel like people come and they'll say, "Oh, I feel like I need this." And actually, when you get into their energy, they don't need that. All they need is something totally different.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if people are unsure and stuff like that, because obviously there's different things that you can book for. I would just say, just come and have your normal a normal 20-minute healing, see how you go with that, see what that picks up for you, see where that puts you, because there's no point someone paying for 2 hours and they've no clue what's going on or where they want to be with it.
Yeah.
If they want, if somebody wants to do the, the guided meditations to meet the dragons or anything like that, they can jump onto that. That's not a problem. I would always sort of like say to people, have some healing, see where you need to be first.
Yeah,
And then
absolutely.
if you really want to sort of like go down there, I just want to go straight in and meet a dragon. Okay, we can do that, but also, I can't guarantee that a dragon's going to come knocking on your door going, "Hello, how are you?
Yeah.
Where have you been?"
I'll tell you what you need right now, love. Yeah.
Yeah. You mean, imagine it, you go like, right, and here you're going to meet your dragon, and the next thing, like, they get this little fucking like butterfly turn up, would be beautiful, but it's kind of like not quite what I was looking for, but that could be what you need right now.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And I think, as much as I would like to say to people, yeah, you can come and meet a dragon, you will get what you're meant to have.
Definitely.
If it's going to be an anteater, you'll get that, and that's just a slot. You'll get it. I can't tell you what you're going to get. All I can do is hopefully guide you down a path, and maybe you'll meet an angelic or a spirit guide or a dragon or a unicorn. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Oh, Collette, it's been amazing talking to you. I love our little chats.
Yeah.
Right, so you're at the retreat with us in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I shall see you there in person again. And what event are you at next?
I've got my event Thursday at Silvertree, and then I'm in Manchester Concord with White Light Events Saturday, Sunday. So that's a big event. That's a big one.
I've
been there before, so we'll see what happens. Looking forward to it.
So they can either see you at the White Light events, they can't see you on my retreat because that's booked. They can't see you in your because that's booked. But they can look out for us and get in touch with you on the Facebook.
Yes, they can. They can contact me on Facebook. It'd be nice and easy. And then your event, what are we doing there? What's the plan? What am I doing? What are we doing?
So I'm not gonna suggest anything. I'm gonna let you come, feel out what's going on, feel the energy, and what feel like everybody needs. That's what we'll do.
Cool. That sounds like
I popped out of that then and put it all on you there. You see how I did that?
And all I'm going to do is pass it to my team and go, I'm going to leave it up to you. So I'll try what's there, and then I'll walk up and go, okay, we're going to do this and see what
we're going to do. That's it. All spirit led.
Yeah, that's what we like. It's the best way.
Right, thank you very, very much for speaking with me, and I'll see you then.
Yeah, see you then.
Thank you so much for listening to me, Stacey Bauer, on Guide to Spirituality podcast. If you enjoyed this chat, feel free to follow, share, or leave a review. It really helps. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and keep showing up for you. See you next time.